What's going on, everybody? My name is Taylor Dzaman, and I live in this truck camper full time. It's the best decision I have ever made. I've been living in a camper now for 2 years, and I just wouldn't go back. The truck camper is a 2017 Arctic Fox 990. Basically, I haul this camper with a 1-ton dually. I got storage right here. It's very small. And then if you come around to the back, I have a generator right here to create power for myself. I've got a solar panel up top. I've got two 30-pound propane tanks, so this is kind of like liquid gold for RVers. It runs my furnace, it runs my generator, it runs my stove, it runs my fridge. Basically everything I need to live comes from this propane right here. This thing right here plugs into the camper, and so while I'm driving, my alternator from my truck is actually charging my batteries. And then the fourth way is just simply like most people do when they live in a camper or go camping in a camper, is plug in. My amp hours are, I believe it's about 250 amp hours. 250, yeah. Pretend like we're in cribs right here. Welcome to my home. Look at this. Small apartment. I've got a wet bath here, so basically wet bath means the shower and the toilet all included, so you can check that out. Coming this way, I've got a microwave. So the microwave only works when I'm plugged in or I'm running my generator, but I do have a microwave. I have a stove, 3-burner stovetop. So as simple as, just like a home, Can cook anything. An oven, that's also with propane. So I can bake some goodies for my YouTube channel. All the storage up here. It's a little bit of a mess, but hey. I've got my sink here. I've got storage down here. This is my solar panel charge controller. So it tells me how much charge my solar panel is getting, and installed that myself. This is my control panel. So you've got your water pump, you've got your gas water heater, electric water heater, my cab over lights, which just simply are the zap button, and porch lights outside for camping. So this little thing runs basically my air conditioner and my heater. And then you've got the bed. It's a queen size bed. It's not the bed that the RV came with. I actually put this in myself. A little bit of luxury. And tons of storage up here. You've got storage there. Basically all the way around the bed. But very, very cozy, very, very comfortable. Over here is my fridge. Now I have nothing in my fridge. I just got back from a cross-Canada trip. And so I was just kind of cleaning out my fridge basically, but I've got a fridge and a freezer. And it's a 3-way fridge, and so it runs off DC power, which is right from the battery bank. It also runs off AC power, so when I'm plugged in, it'll run off that power. And then it runs off propane as well. So I run it off propane basically all the time. It just sips propane. Very, very efficient. I'll move my camera here, but this is basically the dinette and my office. Usually I have the slide in because I sleep on side streets, and you can't really put your slide out when you're sleeping on side streets. But when I go to a campground or go to someone's house, I put the slide out just for comfort.
Why do you live in your truck camper?
I owned a house actually, which is right here. I owned this house for a year, and I just felt stuck. I felt like the house kind of owned me. And so I wanted to live a mobile lifestyle, and I looked at boats for a very long time, and I realized that boat stands for bring on another $1,000. So I decided to, instead of buying a boat, to try the lifestyle out buying an RV. Just to see how I liked living in a small space. And I realized that it's not the space that makes you happy. It's just what you're doing with that space. And so it's been just over 2 years now. Very excited about it.
How do you find finding places to park with this?
I'm a tour bus driver in the summertime, and so that's how I make a lot of my money. And basically when I'm working, I have about 4 spots that I go to. I go to one night, and then the second, and then I just do a loop so that nobody knows that I'm camping there. And the trick is to get there late and leave early. That's what I found, and I've never gotten kicked out of any spot. The biggest benefit of living in a camper is just the mobility and the simplicity. So what you're looking at right now is everything that I own. Actually, I like this quote. The more you have, the less time you have to smile. So that's kind of the basis behind this. I wanted to simplify my life and also mobility. I mean, I live on wheels, and so if tomorrow I wanted to go down to California, I wanted to go across Canada, like I just said, I just went on a cross Canada trip, I can pick up and go. It's as easy as starting the key and taking off.
Could you tell me a little bit about what are some challenges that you have found in this type of lifestyle that maybe somebody in a house doesn't?
The biggest challenge is that at the end of the day, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have a driveway to pull up on. I don't have a front door to open. Every day is different. So after I get off work or after this interview, I don't really know where to go. And that's the one thing that now, after 2 years, I'm starting to miss. And I would just really like to have, for me, it's not so much the home, but it's the piece of land. I'd love to have a piece of land to be able to just park stuff and say, hey, I'm allowed to be here. It sometimes feels like you're just not allowed to be anywhere, parking on side streets and whatnot. So my job is seasonal. So basically I get laid off beginning of October, and then the adventures start. So it kind of sucks because I do a lot of camping. I do a lot of winter camping. It's not too bad living here on Vancouver Island because we don't have harsh winters, but a lot of my fun is enjoyed in the winter months, and then I work really long hours. That's probably the main question you get all the time. What do you do for work? I basically work 12 to 14-hour days, 6 days a week throughout the summer to be able to enjoy this during the winter.
How do you find driving something like this with your truck?
With getting a truck camper, you have to worry about your payload capacity. And so this camper itself, with everything in it, weighs about 5,000 pounds. And so basically the only truck that I can get to haul this would be a 1-ton dually. So 2 wheels, you guys probably know what a dually is, but that extra wheel gives you the extra payload. I see a lot of these campers on single wheel trucks, and honestly, they're just overweight. So yeah, like I said, my payload capacity of my truck is about 6,700 pounds, and this camper is about 5,000 with everything loaded, with the water tanks full. So I'm well within the limit. And to answer your question a little bit further, the only thing that I find that's a bit annoying is that when it's windy, this camper shakes quite a bit driving down the highway. And then also the height of it. It's about 12 feet 8 inches high, and so when I'm going off in the back roads, when there's overhanging trees, I scrape some trees occasionally.
What's the future for you with this lifestyle?
I have a YouTube channel, so I would love to making videos my life. I love making videos, and I love this lifestyle. And so what my future plans are is to basically start looking for land, still living in the RV, still traveling, but I would like to build a cabin in the future, like an A-frame home in the future, and then travel with the RV, but then kind of have a home base. And that's only said after 2 years of doing it. When I first started, I just wanted to drive around and experience things, and I have, but now I'm kind of ready to have more of a home base.
Do you think that this kind of nomadic lifestyle is transitional for people, or do you think that some people, it seems like for you it was something that you wanted to really jump into the nomad part of it, but now you're thinking about, okay, now I gotta dial it back. There's like a happy medium for you. Yeah,
there's a happy medium, and it's also just doing things. I've done this now. I know what it's all about, and I'm always curious. Like, I have a million things I want to do, and so the next thing for me will be the log cabin. And then I'll do that for a little bit, and then I'll go, you know what, I really like to live in a boat. And then I'll go live in a boat. There's just, I just like experiencing things. So this was one of them to kind of put on the resume.
So you've been doing this for 2 years. What would you say to somebody who's maybe just watched a couple of these videos, somebody that's maybe thinking about it,
Yep.
you know, on the fence a little bit,
Yeah.
somebody that's just gotten into it, what would you say to them?
I'm gonna make a video on this, but I give you permission. Just try it. You don't have to get a rig like this. You know, this is kind of an expensive rig. I financed it, which there's a debate online that goes forever about financing. Do it in whatever way you can if you're curious about it, because what if you love it? Then great. But what if you don't like it? Well, then you won't have any regrets because you did it. So just do it, simply. Do it however you can. Like you rolled up with the van, do that, right? That doesn't cost a bunch of money, but you can still live the lifestyle. And I would be just as happy living out of a minivan than I would with this big camper. Just as happy.
If you had to sum up, what would your personal philosophy on life be?
Do what you want all the time. Just do what you're curious about. And it's tough sometimes because it's change. You got to change your life to do certain things. But at the end of the day, life's just about experiences. And so find a way to do it. And it doesn't mean it has to be the rest of your life doing that one thing. Just do whatever makes you happy at the time.
Where can people find you if they want to follow your journey?
Taylor Dzaman, or my last name's spelled kind of weird, but just type in Taylor Truck Camper, and you can watch all my videos, and you can watch my across Canada trip. I just got back about 3 days ago, so you can check that out.
What's up, guys? It's Forrest. Thank you so much for watching that video. Please hit like and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Right below me right now is a playlist of a whole bunch of videos I've done on alternative dwellings, vans, sailboats, tiny homes, all sorts of good stuff. So go ahead and click that link and continue watching. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. I upload every single Monday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.